Hello, so this is my news article, and I would like to conclude that this article is fake for the following reasons. First of all, if you look at the source, National Report, America's lousiest independent news source, lousy is not a term that most news agencies would define themselves as, which may point to the fact that this article is fake. If you go down to the author, Alexander Cruton-Skitch, he is originally quote-unquote from the Langerhans Islands, which is actually an area in your pancreas. So that is not an area that people can live in. Additionally, if you look at the other posts that he has made, he seems to have written most, if not all, of the posts, which points to the fact that this article may be fake because most news agencies, they have articles from many, many different journalists and not from one, two, or three journalists. Additionally, if you go to the recent articles, they seem to have non-reliable images. They don't seem to be appropriate news articles, which points to the fact that if the related articles are fake, then so this one may be fake as well. If you go to the timestamp, however, it does give you an official timestamp. That being said, that the publication date does not determine fully if the article is true or false or not. A way that you can further determine that is through the links that are cited with this article. So a few of these here are actually legitimate articles, like the New York Times, but some of them are not. For example, I'm a Grown Little Man. This news links, or this article link, actually takes you to a YouTube video that is posted by the Kevin Hart Fan Club, which is not a reliable source that a news agency would typically cite. Additionally, another example of a weird source is driving off. If you click it, it literally just takes you to a picture of a car, which is not a reliable image source. Sorry, a reliable article, rather, I would place. If you look at the advertisements on the side even, these don't seem to be verified ads. And I actually clicked on many of these articles just to check them out, and they do not seem to be reliable. And that would actually make sense if this article is fake, because a lot of reliable ad agencies do not want their ads on fake news articles. They would rather have them on high traffic areas that are more verified. I did try to look for this article in a fact-checking website. Unfortunately, I did not find it. That being said, that does not prove that this article is true. It's simply that I could not find it in the sources that I checked. So, for example, Snopes.com or factchecker.org. Perhaps most definitely the fact that this is a fake news article is actually, if you scroll down, it says a disclaimer that this is a political satire web publication. So it explicitly says that it is satire and it is not a real article. Okay. Additionally, if you look at the actual content of the text, I actually read the text and it says that, for example, industry sources with no knowledge of ongoing discussions say. A news agency would not typically source someone who has no knowledge of ongoing discussions. They would post someone who has a knowledgeable source, someone who has context, someone who has reliable information. Another example is notified the We Star of his recent booking. We Star is not an official terminology that most news reports would cite. So the fact that they use this terminology is suggestive that it is fake news. Personally, I will say that I don't have many biases when it comes to analyzing this article, because I'm not a major fan of Kevin Hart or Jussie Smollett or even familiar with the show Empire, so that would make me relatively neutral when analyzing this article. In conclusion, I would say this article is fake for the following reasons. The reason that the headline does not seem to be reliable, the fact that the author's bio is questionable, and that he seems to write a lot of the posts that are in this news agency, the fact that it explicitly says it is political satire, the advertisements on the side, and the content itself, and lastly, the links to the cited in the article.